Hello chaps and chapettes, how's it going? Screezilla here and I hope you're all well. And today I want to talk about the bomber sweet spot. Now, this is kind of an odd one because this bomber is not one of the greatest bombers out there. And one of the problems you will face is the fact that you will be put in matches with the Sky Whale, the BV-238. That's the only downside of this plane. Now, this match just looked like it was myself and a Ju-87, so I was just, happily plumbing along, and then all of a sudden, a bit later on, a BV comes in and, of course, dives down to go for the base kills at, warp factor 6. But we're going to take the BV a little bit out of the context here. Because even if you do have that in a game, it's not a bad thing. The reason this plane does so well is its BR. 3.3. Now 3.3 at the moment means you get very good teams. So let's look at our team at the moment. We have, of course, the P-47 German Thunderbolt, the BF-109s, the G-55s, another P-108, but this is the gun variant, of course. But there are some very, very capable fighters in this lineup. Now this would be 3.7, I think, max BR, I think off the top of my head from looking at things. I think the G55 0 is maybe 4.0, but I'll have to double check that. But you're not fighting super, super high-tech planes, and you're not fighting anything that's really deadly to you. There are Spitfires, of course, and the American planes is probably your biggest threat. But the thing that really pays off for this plane is the bomb load that it carries. Take the 100 kilogram bombs with you every time. Sorry, this replay's a little bit jerky, I'm just noticing. I apologise about that. But the 100 kilogram bombs, you'll need 11 of them to finish off a base without too much problem. 10 should do it, because they've got a really nice TNT load. Because of your BR as well, the bases have slightly less health. You are able to decimate all three bases with this plane if need be. You're also able to take out pretty much 50% of an airfield as well. Now if you're playing with BVs, what you do is you just fly for the airfield, because this plane has really good speed. I did a video talking about the Condor, I think, a little bit, and talking about how the BV is a bit of a painful plane to play against. Because in the Condor, the Focke-Wulf 200, you don't have that speed advantage, whereas in the P108, you actually have the speed to get to that point in this plane. It's a very good, fast plane. You can pretty much WEP all the way there. So, as we see, there's the BV going in nice and low, nice and fast to bomb the base. Always such fun. I just noticed it here and I'm just like, oh, for God's sake, seriously? And I'm sort of thinking about what I'm going to do about it now, because if I fly straight there, I'm going to get picked off by fighters. So I'm going to go around and actually work out a bombing route for myself. My bombing route is going to take me across here, around here, and then come in sideways, because I can see the BVs going on a straight path towards the left bases, because they're in tandem as well. So I'm imagining he's just going to go bomb those bases, and he's probably going to mess up the bombs, because no BV bomber pilot knows how to actually bomb in this game for some reason. They're just the bane of my existence, I swear. So why is this the sweet spot? Well, this is a rank 3 bomber at 3.3, which means that you can effectively grind out rank 4 and rank 5 planes without too much issue, which is really, really good. So at the moment I'm just grinding out the final prop plane before the jets for the Italians. Every run I'm using a 15% booster. I was using a 15% booster on these, but I was getting around about 7,000 research points. I've won the last 9 games I've played in this plane. Every game has been a win. because this BR, as I said, the BF-109 is very good, but also having the, as it's commonly known, the Hitler Bolt, the German Thunderbolt in there, that thing is just an absolute beast. And you know, people will say that, you know, that does get a lot of kills and does a lot of it's a bit OP, and absolutely I agree. It's also a very good money maker. It's just taken out of Halifax there, I believe, but it did get damaged by the Halifax. So poor old Halifax. The other good thing about this plane is you do get German spawn, which means you generally don't get many bombers other than, of course, the Sky Whales. So usually you got free reign for bombing, whereas with the Allied nations, and that BV has absolutely screwed up that bomb run and managed to not kill either base. How do you do that? The other thing is he dropped all his bombs. He could kill all 3 bases without any problem, but no, just drop all your bombs and completely stuff it up. Money does not buy skill, my friends. Money does not buy skill. So you have the added advantage of the fact that most of the Allied planes are busy hunting for fighters, not for bombers. So whereas when you're in a Allied match, when you're flying an Allied bomber, such as the Halifax, the Wellington, Stirling, the Lancaster, the B-17, B-29, the MB 162, I think it is, the French bombers, you know, anything that's flying out with the Allies more often, you will constantly be harassed by fighters. And a lot of those planes don't have very good defense for fighters either, and this is another advantage of this plane. This plane is very tanky. This plane can take a lot of damage. But because of the payload, you get good return rates as well. It's got a good repair cost rate as well. It's not that expensive to repair. As I said, this is pretty much the sweet spot for grinding bombers at the moment for me. You generally don't get harassed by many fighters, especially if you don't run like an idiot at low altitude into the enemy bases, and you sort of circle around a little bit and go for a slightly longer run. You will get some good bomb runs off. But the other thing about this plane is it can defend itself. From the front, it is a bit weak. From the tail, it is a bit weak. If somebody's sitting on your 6, you have got a little bit of weakness. But not too much, because you have these fantastic guns on the wings. Now, these are twin 50 cals, basically. They're 13.72mm, I think, off the top of my head. But they're very heavy-duty machine guns. They've got a very good rate of fire, and they've got a very good damage ability to you. Underneath, we also have a belly gunner, and this is very important, because this belly gunner is very, very useful. The belly gunner is very handy because it does protect you quite a lot. You have the waist guns, which are 7.7s, and you also have the front gun. The MB157 here has come in, and we managed to shoot him a little bit. We have taken a bit of damage, though. So, I think we lost a gunner. One of our gunners has gone unconscious. I don't know who that... Front gunner has gone unconscious. But our wing gunners are still active. Now, this guy's got a big old 20mm in the nose, but then 7.7mm on the side. With the French fighters, you really don't have to worry about much. Now, as you see here, we've taken a bit of damage, and we are firing back. So, we're not in a great shape here, but we're still flying. We still have ammunition, and we still have gunners. Now, we can keep him at bay because these guns do scare a lot of people. This thing has got very good guns on board, as I say. But you do have to be careful to use your guns sparingly, sorry. Now, you will take out quite a few people when they just sit on your 6 like this. But he's doing everything he can correctly. But I imagine he's actually out of 20mm now. He's only got 7.7s. So that's a really big advantage, because they're not going to do much to this plane. This plane just will take damage. It will soak up damage like nothing else. So, we're getting over our bomb targets slowly. We're missing most of our wings, and we're missing most of our tail section as well. But we're going to try and get on target with bombs. It's coming in again. So, fighter's coming back in for another bite of us. We get ready, we start firing off a few rounds, we get a couple of small hits. Wait till they get close, that's the thing. You want to basically use your guns to scare pilots, and then lure them in close, and then you use your guns on target. So, we're getting some good hits with our belly gun here. And bang, he's on fire. He goes for the ram, but we managed to blow the wing off just as he goes for the ram, and he is gone. So now we can focus on bombing, and it's a little bit hard when the plane is wobbling like this, but we have got a kill. So we go for the bombing, and this is a little bit tricky just because there is not much control on the plane anymore. Luckily, in bomb mode, you do get the autopilot assist. So we drop a lot of bombs there. We didn't need to drop that many, in all honesty, but we're basically just flying on a wing and a prayer right now. So we just drop enough to make sure we can absolutely delete those two bases. We're not going to be coming back for that third base. So I sort of gave up on that option because I do not have the control. But that means we're going to get the bomb damage as well. We're going to score really well in this game. And this is what happens pretty much every game. I actually have a lot of uneventful games in this. I'm only showing this replay because I actually got a kill. The majority of the time, though, I'm basically just bombing in this plane. It's a nice plane to just bomb in. It flies really well, and as I said, it has got a great lick of speed on it, which is a big help. The last enemy plane's gone down. Our bombs have hit. We've taken out 2 bases. We've scored almost 15,000 points. We finished, I think, 4th or 3rd overall. 4th overall, as you can see. We've done very well, and this game netted me about 42,000 lions, which is really nice. Another good advantage of this plane is because you are playing on the winning team the majority of the time. If you've got one of the battle victory wagers running, I've had 8 stage wins in a row, and the reason I didn't achieve any stages before is because I was actually playing in my Lancaster, and that I was getting hammered in, so I jumped to this plane. Now the benefit of this plane, as I say, is it's rank 4, not 3, so it's rank 4. So when you do unlock the G56, you can use it to unlock the jets. As I say, you will earn around about 7,000 research points per game in this plane, so it's not hard at all. And also the lion cost is really good as well. As you can see, after fixing everything and getting everything done, 40,000 lions, nice amount of cash there given. The cost of this plane for repair is not that much as well. It's only 6,000 lions or 6,500 lions, so again, it's not a bad plane for making money, and it's one of the better bombers to make money in, because one of the issues is with, say, the Lancaster, although that thing is fantastic, used to be amazing, with the repair cost being up so high now, it really ruins it. The B-29 is even worse. B-29 has almost 60,000, well, has over 60,000 lion repair bill, and you will go down a lot in this plane. You may get some good bomb runs and make, 80 to 100,000 lions in a game, the same with the Lancaster, but the majority of the time you are going to be losing those games and you are going to be going down, so you're going to have those high repair bills. Whereas with the Italian P108, you will be managing to take out 3 bases per run, you'll be managing to get the odd plane kill, you've got enough defensive firepower to take out planes, as I say, with the 12.7mm Brothers at the back. These guns have a fantastic rate of fire. They only have 300 rounds of ammunition though, so they are a little bit weak in that respect. And of course, being on the wings, it's not too easy to sort of rearm them, of course. That's the other thing. The reload is not so easy on those. But you do also have your gunners, the 12.7 on the belly, and also a 12.7 at the front. The 7.7 millimeters at the side do offer a little bit of extra protection, but they are good for basically chasing off a foe, causing them to sort of think twice. You get a very good round selection as well. I usually go universal because of the incendiary rounds, but you get an armor piercing round with that as well. So you generally do cause a lot of damage with those guns. The GP100s are fantastic. They've got 50.6 kilograms of explosives in them, which means that they are more effective than taking out heavier bomb loads. You can take out the 500 kilogram bombs, but with those it's not as effective, as I say, but you do get some more. It's easier to hit a base with those. I think you need 2 off the top of my head to take out a base. So again, it does work out okay. I think it's 2, but it might be 3 off the top of my head. But I usually take out the 100s because they just tend to work a little bit easier, and it doesn't really make that much difference. So all in all, this is probably the best money maker at the moment that I can say for a bomber, for a non-premium as well. If you are just after a bomber to grind, and if you are grinding the Italian line, this is the best plane to use. There is of course the Series 2 at 3.7, but that increase in BR does make it suffer. It also lacks a nose gunner. The only advantage of this plane is really that it was a night bomber plane. It doesn't have any extra benefits other than the fact it's got a little bit more armor. But really that doesn't make any difference. You are slightly slower because it's slightly heavier with that. It's slightly faster, sorry, because of the lack of a nose gun, but it doesn't perform quite as well because it has a worse power to weight ratio because of the extra armor. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and enjoy your planes and have a good time bombing. And this is Screezilla out. Until next time, bye bye.